So today we are going to try and see if we can master this skill that's going to make solving equations nice and easy, particularly ones that look terrible like this. Say I ask you to solve this equation. Something like that. I already don't want to do it, right? Because there's all these fractions and they're really annoying. Well, guess what? What if I told you that there was a way that we could get rid of all the fractions in one step? And then we don't have to really deal with them anymore. Well, in the equation anyway. So, there's a very nice thing, an excellent skill that you want to have, because no one wants to do this. I don't want to minus 1/3 x, even though 1/3 x minus, or 3/5 x minus, oh yeah, I don't want to do that. Because remember, when you're adding and subtracting fractions, you have to have common denominators. I could do it out, but it would, it's so much work. There's a much easier way. So, here's what you're going to do. In order to clear fractions, first make sure that if you happen to have any mixed numbers, you would want to change them to improper. I don't have any. Actually, let's write some step-by-steps at the same time. So, how to clear fractions.
So make it like a whole number?
Yes. So, how to clear fractions. Let me zoom out a little bit so we can get everything at once. Okay, first thing, if you have any mixed numbers, change them to improper. So we will have some mixed numbers later on, but right now we don't. So, but we'll just put that in our instructions. Change any mixed numbers to improper. Okay, so step 1 is already done for us. Step 2, you're going to look at all of your denominators. To find your common denominator. Miss Avia, I thought you said we were going to avoid all this common denominator stuff. We are. We just have to figure out what the common denominator would be. Yeah, 15. So if I look at my denominators, I have 2 5s and a 3. So if I were to get all the denominators the same, wouldn't I make them all 15s? Yeah, so here's what I'm going to do. That 15 is like a magic number. It's going to unlock this from going from a really hard problem to a really easy problem. So once you figure out that common denominator, we are going to, in step 3, multiply the entire equation by that magic number. And watch how nice it works out. Multiply the entire equation by that common denominator. Zoom out just a little bit. Let me give you a second to jot all that down so then I can zoom in back on the problem and show you exactly what I mean.
So multiplying fractions?
Yeah, but watch, it's gonna, just wait. I promise you, you're going to actually like doing these problems. I know.
Seriously done that.
You will, because once you do step 3, it turns back into a nice problem again. Yeah. Probably. Okay, everybody has the steps written down? So, we all agree that my common denominator is 15, right? If I have 5s and 3s, so everyone is clear where 15 came from. So here's how I write this. I put a big set of parentheses around the whole thing, and I put a 15 out in front. I'm going to multiply every single one of these things by 15. I know you're thinking, Miss Savia, well, that's annoying. I don't want to do that, but it's actually really easy if you just do it the right way. You're going to follow me, so everybody watch. You're going to take your whole number and you divide it by the denominator. So you're always going to divide down. So what is 15 divided by 5? 3, and then you just take that answer and multiply it by the top. So 15 divided by 5 is 3, and then 3 times 3 is 9. So when you multiply 15 times 3/5 x, that's all you get out. It's so nice. So now watch when we do it this time. 15 you divide by the denominator, so you divide down. 15 divided by 5, again, is 3. But now you multiply by the top. Now you got 12. You have to do it on every single number, so this one too.
I couldn't hear what you said.
Wait,
Did you get
15
12?
divided by 35.
Okay, so let's go back. 12 came from you divide down, so 15 divided by 5 is 3, right?
Yes.
And then you multiply it by the numerator. So now I just have to do this last one. 15 divided by 3 is 5 times the numerator is 5. And I just leave the x. Now, this problem is so much easier. Look how nice this is. So now you just solve it just like you did on your Fast 5 and on your homework last night. So what would you normally do now?
But how did you get 9?
Okay, so go back. You divide down. So what's 15 divided by 5?
3?
And then you multiply by the top. So 3 times 3 is 9.
I'm completely lost.
No, you're not. You just did it. 15 divided by 5. You take that answer and you multiply it by the numerator.
Oh, alright.
Mm-hmm.
So 15 times 3/5 is 9.
Yeah.
Why do we multiply them?
You can.
She really
Does it
is
work
multiplying
Does it work
them.
with like equations with fractions and whole numbers?
Oh, yes. We'll do some. Yeah.
Okay.
So now I'm here, and all I have to do is finish solving my equation. But now it's a nice, easy equation, just like you saw yesterday. So I need to get the x's together. So what would I do? You could minus the 5x, but I would recommend minusing the 9x over, just so I don't leave one side of my equation blank. But it wouldn't matter. You could still get the right answer that way. And 5x minus 9x is negative 4x, and then I just divide by negative 4. See that? So I end up with a negative 3 as my answer. So no matter how nasty these problems look, if you can clear the fractions, you make it into such a simpler problem.
So we can do this with any fraction.
As long as it's an equation. It has to be an equation. So if you
Especially
have,
with some whole numbers. and
good idea.
Fractions.
So let's try another example.
Like ones with whole
Oh, hold on.
numbers.
We got to finish our steps. Multiply the entire equation by that common denominator, and then your last step is just to solve the new equation like usual. Yeah.
If you did 5 minus 5 and then 9 minus 5 and you got a positive 4, and then you divided the positive 4 by the positive 4, and then the 12 by the positive 4, wouldn't it equal a positive 2?
So, okay, let's go back. If you're here, you have 9x plus 12 equals 5x, right? And so what do you want to do? You want to minus the 5x? So if you minus the 5x, watch what happens. You get 4x plus 12 equals 0. Do you see that? And then you'd have to minus the 12 to the side. Yeah, so then you'll still end up doing so let's do that. Minus 12 to both sides. 4x equals negative 12, and then you divide by 4. So you'll still end up with the right answer as long as you do all the steps correctly. Okay, so either way we get negative 3. All right, let's try another one that has a whole number in it. Let's try, oh, I don't know. How about 2/3 x minus 4 equals 5/6 x. So here we have some fractions and we have some mixed numbers. So, I don't know. Let's look at step 1. Change any mixed numbers to improper. I don't have any mixed numbers. Yep. Yes, you absolutely can. So if you want to make everybody a fraction, you can just put the 4/1. So if you want to do that, you can. You don't have to, but it's up to you. Do you want me to? Or don't I? You want me to? Okay, I will. So now everybody's a fraction, okay? So let's look at our denominators. 3, 1, you can kind of ignore the 1 though, and 6. What will my common denominator be?
12.
You could do 12, but can I get away with 6? Right? So I'd try and use the smallest number I can. So 6, all of these numbers divide into 6. So let's multiply everything by 6. So remember that process. You're going to divide down, multiply up. Divide down, multiply up. So what's this first thing come out to be? 4. Does everybody see that? Divide down, 6 divided by 3 is 2. Multiplied by the numerator, you get a 4x. Divide down, 6 divided by 1 is 6, times the numerator is 24. And this last one, so everybody got it? Don't say it out loud. Everybody get it in your head. Divide down, multiply up. Devin, go ahead. Yeah, 5. 6 divided by 6 is 1 times the numerator. This is a much easier problem now. The only way it gets harder is by having worse fractions. But if you can find a common denominator, you're
Emily
good.
Pope, please come to the main foyer. Emily Pope, please come to the main foyer. Thank you.
So now I have this simpler equation, but I'd still need to solve it. What would I do? I would subtract 4x from both sides. You have a negative 24. 5x minus 4x is just 1x or x, and I'm done, right? Because x is positive. Right? But walking into this, if I had given you a fast 5 and it was all problems like this, right? I probably would have had half of you walk out and say, I'm not doing this. But on Monday when you go to take this fast 5, now that you have this skill, you're like, oh, it's not so bad.
Is there like another method you can get the same answer?
You can, but it's a lot more tedious.
Multiplying, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing a fraction.
Right. But, and the other way I've done it is get a common denominator for all the fractions. So rewrite each of them.
Oh.
We'll
How
do
about
it
we
this way,
something
but
like
if
a
somebody's
two-step
not
equation
getting it.
of fractions and
A what? A 2-step one?
Yeah.
Well, that was a 2-step one.
Well, it
Yeah.
had like
It
two.
was.
Yeah. So I'm going to stop this video here.